when I see beautiful faces sitting here today to walk alongside with me and what we are doing in the community of Kenya, sometimes I become speechless because it is people like you who make the heart of God what it is, who makes the heartbeat of God truly beats for the hurting and for the vulnerable. So today, I'm super excited for you being here today to help celebrate Maisha and just hear and taste a glimpse of what Oklahomans are doing right here to transform my village, where I came from, in Kisumu, Kenya. Growing up in my small village was very challenging. A lot of you in this room are friends of Maisha on Facebook, and we tried our best to bring Maisha close to you in Oklahoma by social media, and that is doing really, really well. Growing up in a small village in Kisumu, Kenya was very challenging. I grew up in a place where we didn't have running water. We didn't have electricity when I was growing up. And as a young girl, I could count the number of days we eat food, just like millions of my fellow Kenyans are still doing today. And that is very disturbing to me. It is very disturbing because in the world today, and just like Miss Amy described, when your neighbor is hurting, you should be hurting too. You should be. I feel like it is mandatory that if your neighbor is hurting, you should be hurting, if you are a normal human being. Because the love of God that sits in us teaches us to do that. It's only two things. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And so as a young girl, when I was growing up, ability and a chance for education was very difficult for me and my family because of two things. My parents were both teachers and they had a job. But still, education in Kenya is not free. You have to have tuition, you have to have uniform, you have to have school supplies even to be in school, just like, and those are things that are mandatory that you have to sit in a class. If you don't have it, you will not sit in a class. And so growing up, that was a challenge for me. Not because my parents did not want to take us to school. Because some parts in Kenya, if you're a female, if you're a young girl, chances for you even getting a chance for education is very slim. Because girls are sometimes given a second chance. But my parents had a desire to provide for us, but they really didn't have enough. They both had a job, but they still brought in less than $1 a day. That surely cannot feed a family, provide the basic necessity, and also help educate your children. So the opportunity for me to get an education came dear to my heart because a missionary from Sweden gave me a chance for education. And this lady called Anna Lanson gave me an opportunity for education from first grade until 2 years of college. When Anna Lanson passed away, that sponsorship for education stopped. And that spoke so loud for me because of two things. I learned that Anna Lanson was single-handedly providing an opportunity for me to go to school. I was not a part of an organization like a lot of our Maisha kids are enjoying today. This lady was single-handedly providing for a chance for me for education. And that's how I received my education. When she died, that stopped. It completely stopped. And so I stopped going to college again, still in Kenya, you have to have ability for school fees, for tuition, and all those kinds of things. While I was out of college, I got an opportunity to come to Oklahoma as an intern, just because I was an active youth, young adult in my church, and there was opportunity for cultural exchange program with my church here at City Church. And so when I got the opportunity to come to Oklahoma, I feel like God shone his light once again on me. And I could wonder, why me? But I did not realize that there's a bigger picture of what God was doing behind the scene. And that picture was the backbone of Maisha. When I came to Oklahoma, life was really great. It was amazing. And you can't believe what some of the culture shocks were for me when I came to Oklahoma. I say that because we take countless and countless of people from America, especially from Oklahoma, to my village in Kenya. To date, 685 people have visited my village in Kisumu, Kenya. So when they travel, culture shock is always really a big deal for when they go to my village. When I came to Oklahoma, my culture shock was not the filthy roads where you have sewage water just running across. My culture shock was not there was no electricity or there's no air conditioning in the house. But when I came to Oklahoma, my culture shock was the plentiness of food. Can you believe that? There was too much food. And I was panicking even to see food because there was too much, one, choices, and second, there was just abundance, and I didn't know what to do with it. And so my culture shock was not, wow, God has blessed me to be in a place where I can enjoy all this. My family host lived in Edmond. I think the house we lived in was maybe, I would say, 5,000 square foot. And so I come from Africa, from a small little mud house, and you're taking me to a 5,000 square foot home. I did not know what to do with it. Because we walked in, and I'm asking my family host, where are people living in this house? And my family mom said, it's only two of us. That was a huge culture shock for me. Because coming from a small place, and you come into abundance, sometimes God works in unique ways because he blesses you that you don't even know what to do with the blessing that he gives to you. But it was during this time when I was experiencing this culture shock that Maisha was truly being born in Oklahoma to make a difference back in my village. So as I could just really stare things, every Sunday after church we could go grocery shopping. We come back in the house and pack food in the fridge. Then we leave to go eat out. And I'm like, why did we just go grocery shopping? Why? I could not understand these simple things. I could not. So we go to eat out, and one of the favorite things they realized that I loved was Mexican food because it's close to Kenyan food. So we could go to Mexican restaurant almost every time. So there's so much food that by the time you're about to eat the food you ordered, you're already full and you're taking the food home. So these things were challenging for me because I didn't know what to do with all these blessings that was right in front of me. And so I could mope around, complain how there's just too much and I don't know what to do with it. And my family host challenged me that you can sit here and wonder what to do with all the blessings that God has put in front of you, or you can turn that around and think about the suffering back in your village and thank the Lord for what he has given you and try to pay forward for what you have. And that is when Maisha Project was born. Maisha Project was born because I had a desire just to pay forward. And so as I was an intern at City Church, you know when you're an intern in a couple of decades ago, your stipend is very small, right? And so I'm excited. I'm in Oklahoma and I have my first job. And I have salary, which is a small stipend. So I could take half of this money and send it to my mom back in the village so that she can just buy rice and beans and help feed some of the kids that were suffering behind my backyard. Because I truly know where I came from. And I could not sit and forget what was happening in my village. So for a couple of months, I did that. I get my stipend from being an intern and I send half of my salary back to my mom. Until one day, my mom was really, really mad at me because every Saturday they could cook for children and the number was growing very rapidly. And so she just gets furious and say, "Stop sending for me money. You're giving me problems in the village." So here I'm fighting with my mom because I want to help. But she don't want the little money that I was sending for her. And do you want to know how much that money was? Take a guess. Mr. Hall. It was $50. That's a close guess. So at that time, $50, almost half of my stipend, I was sending to Africa. And my mom here is telling me, "I don't want it. You're giving me problems." But it is through that humble beginning that we've seen that a lot of Oklahomans have a big heart. And why don't we share the beauty of what is happening in my village with some of the people that wants to make a difference. And today, Maisha Project, in a small village where we started just feeding 2 children, we are educating over 900 children, providing for them a chance for education. Feeding over 1,000 meals each day for children that only depend on what the meal Maisha is cooking, majority of those children. And we are transforming a community where we are giving people a hand up. We are giving them a chance to be self-reliant by providing them opportunity for small businesses so that they can have an income for themselves. But not only that, we are giving hope to the hopeless. And for me to tell you the power of the Maisha story really well, I want you to take a look at this video that is truly the heartbeat of Maisha. This is our backbone, and this is why we exist. Phoebe and Sharon are literally living by themselves in this house. Both parents are dead. In front of their house is the grave of their mom and dad. And so these 2 girls, every day, that's the first thing they see. Phoebe is 14 years old. And she has to go from house to house to find some sort of a job, just to find not even money, but something to eat. And these 2 girls do not have a security of their own. They live in fear. She's saying that sometimes they go without food for 2-3 days. Today is one of those moments when people's lives are forever changed. It's really exciting because we are heading to rescue Phoebe and Sharon. We are getting close to their home right now. Actually, I can see the girls, it looks like they were waiting on us. So it's really interesting and beautiful. Hey, Sasa. She has been waiting for a long time, right? When I talked to Phoebe the other day, she mentioned that every night she's always praying for God to help them. We were working on all this. Now you're safe to go. We have fully had their clearance from the children's department, from local community, from the chief, and I know that they have been actually really waiting for a long time for this moment. Today, they are traveling with us all the way from Turkana to Kisumu. Because of courtesy of Flight 540, all this became possible for us to travel with Sharon and Phoebe on our way back to Kisumu. I can't wait to see them welcome at Maisha. Phoebe's prayer has been answered today. It is the prayer of those two young girls, especially Phoebe, a 14-year-old girl taking care of her own sibling, afraid to sleep in their own house because they don't know if somebody's going to come and rape them. But what was so impactful for me, it's because I felt like God shone his light on these two little girls, just like he did for me. Of course, my story was way different from theirs, but God provided for me and gave me a chance. But you see, Phoebe and Sharon, her sister, these two young girls are total orphans, and they were raising themselves. But until Maisha came into their lives, then their story was written. They got an opportunity to be in our place, our complex, where they are living in a beautiful, nice dormitory, where we have young, destitute girls there. They get a chance to have 3 meals a day, get fed spiritual nourishment, get educated, and have a second chance in life. Who does that if it's not God? Who truly does that? And so today, when you guys come and sit here and celebrate the night with me, and on behalf of my community, you are doing two things. One, you are answering God's prayer for many kids that are praying, just like Phoebe was praying that somebody come and make a difference in their life. And two, you are living to be light and salt in this world, just for him. So tonight, as you guys enjoy the night, I want to say thank you on behalf of my community in Kisumu, Kenya, on behalf of the children that we serve. I want to say thank you for being a part of the Maisha story. Thank you for making a difference for thousands of lives of the people you don't even know. But because of your obedience, you're changing the world one child at a time. Thank you so much for being here.